Zara, with her evil curiosity, finally discovered the truth. Her heart nearly jumped out of her chest when she saw her father's name and Ada's father's name were connected as brothers. Her whole body went cold. Wait, Ada is my cousin? The report was clear. Ada was the real heir. The riches Zara enjoyed all her life? They belonged to the street girl she mocked. It all begins on the street, but what falls from above unleashes a storm of secrets, love, and redemption. From street dust to royal destiny, this story will grip your soul, break your heart, and heal it all at once. Buckle up. Ada's journey will take your breath away. Don't forget to subscribe and drop a comment telling us where you're watching from. We might just give you a special shout out in our next video. Ada had been a certified street beggar for as long as she could remember. Born and bred on the rough pavements of the city, she shared her world with her mother, Mama Ola, a woman with a lion's heart and a master's degree in survival. They didn't have money for school fees or even a decent mattress, but books? Oh, they had ghetto books, torn, tattered, half-eaten by rats and life, rescued from refuse dumps. Every morning, mother and daughter would embark on a sacred mission to the dump site like treasure hunters. If it had pages, it had potential. Mama, this one's missing all the vowels, Ada once said, holding up a book with half of its pages gone. Don't worry, we'll fill in the blanks with imagination, Mama Ola replied like a true street philosopher. Mama Ola homeschooled Ada using whatever they found. From broken encyclopedias to soggy textbooks, she stitched together an education with sheer willpower and sticky tape. On the days they didn't make much from begging, they dined like royalty at the back of the supermarket. Oh look, Ada! Expired croissants! Today we eat like queens! Mama Ola would joke as they rummaged for slightly dead but not totally dead food. But one day, Mama Ola noticed something. Ada, my darling, I think all the good books in the dump are now permanently deceased. Why don't you try that fancy new opened library? Go get yourself some premium pages, eh? Ada nodded eagerly. Okay, Mama. I'll go there first thing tomorrow morning. The next morning, Ada arrived at the library with hope in her heart and banana peels on her slippers. But as she walked in, the librarian tight bun, tighter attitude looked at her like a cockroach on a wedding cake. Hey, you! This is a library, not a lounge for beggars. Out before I call security. Ada clasped her hands together. Ma, please, I just want to borrow a book. I swear on all the expired croissants, I'll bring it back. I don't trust you, the librarian sneered, adjusting her glasses like it helped her see Ada's soul better. Goo! Just as Ada was turning to leave with her heart dragging behind her, a voice piped up. Here, you can have mine. She turned to see a well-dressed man holding out the book he had come to read. He looked like he had a job, a house, and functioning air conditioning. Ada blinked. You sure? He smiled and said, Positive. She took the book like it was made of gold. Thank you, sir. Too really appreciate this. He watched her walk out, a faint smile still on his face. The next day, Ada returned to the library, book in hand, glowing with pride like she had just completed a Harvard degree. Excuse me, she said to the librarian. Please, where's the man who gave me this book yesterday? He's not here yet, the librarian said flatly, not looking up. Ada stood there, torn between leaving the book with the woman or returning it later. After a moment's mental debate, she decided to come back later. Just as she turned to go, wham! Someone bumped into her. Ouch! Ada clutched her head. Oh, sorry, wait. I know you, the man said. Yeah, Ada smiled. I borrowed your book. I came to return it. You finished it already? He asked, raising a brow. Nope. But I promised to return it today, and a deal's a deal, the man chuckled. A woman of her word that is impressive. Keep it. It is yours now. Ada gasped. Really? I finally own a good book. What do you mean, finally? Didn't you use books in school? I never went to school. My mom taught me with books from the refuse dump. The man blinked. Wait, what? Why? Ada gave him a look. Because we couldn't afford school. Oh, my bad. That was a dumb question, the man said, holding his head. Ada grinned. Nah, it is okay to ask. Most people are shocked that my mom raised a genius with garbage books. Well, I bet they've never met anyone smarter than me. Really? The man exclaimed. You want to challenge me? Ada asked. Full-on competitive mode activated. Oh, yes, please, he replied with a twinkle in his eye. All right then, bring it on. Right here? He asked, laughing nervously. Yes. Or are you scared you'll lose and the ghosts of the library will laugh at you? Not scared. Just thinking we need a referee. Someone to judge the battle of brains. Oh, good point, Ada admitted. Fine, set it up and let me know where and when, Ada demanded. I will, he said. This will be fun. Ada jumped excitedly. I have a challenge to win. Waitho, do I reach you? Ada paused. Good question. Don't worry, he said, smiling. I'll find you. She gave a half-confused nod and disappeared into the street, like a scene from a superhero origin story. The man watched her leave, still smiling, then turned and entered the library. Later that day, Ada rushed to tell Mama Ola everything. Mama, I met the man again. He gave me the book. And now we're having a brain challenge. Mama Ola raised an eyebrow. A challenge? With a stranger? Yes, Mama. Mama Ola blinked, her face a mixture of confusion and mild panic. Okay, just don't challenge him to wrestling, oh. For the next few days, Ada waited every morning. She'd polish her new book like it was the crown jewel of knowledge, then head to her usual street corner, pretending not to look like she was waiting for a mysterious man with a brain jewel invitation. Mama Ola was starting to get suspicious. This challenge you're waiting for? It's not a romantic challenge, Abby. Ada nearly choked on the piece of bread she was eating. Mama, the man didn't say let's fall in love. He said let's challenge brains. Mama Ola squinted at her. Hen, just making sure. Love can hide inside dictionary pages, oh. Ada rolled her eyes. Mama, please. I'm just trying to win this thing and make you proud. All right. Just remember, don't go falling for a fine face that can't multiply fractions. One bright afternoon, just as Ada was helping a younger street kid solve riddles using bottle caps and math, a car stopped nearby. A sleek, black car. Ada froze. The window rolled down dramatically, as if the driver had rehearsed it. And there he was, the man from the library, smiling like a magician about to pull a rabbit out of his boot. I found you, he said. Ada crossed her arms. What took you so long? I almost became the Minister of Gutter Affairs waiting here. The man laughed. I had to pull a few strings and bribe 2 Akara sellers to describe you. Ada raised a brow. Accurate. I am unforgettable. He stepped out of the car. All right, champ. Our battle of wits is set for tomorrow, at 10 a.m. sharp. Venue, Harmony Community Center. Ada's jaw dropped. The big one with air conditioning? She asked. Yes, and snacks too, the man said, laughing. Oh, say less. I'll be there before the cock even dreams of crowing. That night, Ada couldn't sleep. She kept whispering to herself. What if he throws trick questions? What if he quotes Shakespeare backwards? What if he asks how to spell anti-dice establishmentarianism? Mama Ola patted her gently. Just be yourself. If you can understand torn books and expired knowledge, you can outshine anybody. Ada nodded. I'm going to dust him like old furniture. Mama Ola smiled. That's my girl. The next morning, Ada looked like a scholar straight out of a motivational poster. She wore her cleanest dress, which only had 1 stew stain instead of 4. Her shoes almost matched, and she carried her beloved book like it was the Holy Grail. She arrived at Harmony Community Center 20 minutes early. Inside, the hall was buzzing. There were chairs, a small audience of curious folks from the neighborhood, and a moderator with glasses so thick they looked bulletproof. The man her challenger stood at the front, wearing a crisp shirt and an expression of calm confidence. "You came early," he said. "Of course! I like to survey the battlefield before the battle began," Ada replied, glancing around dramatically. They both laughed. Then the moderator clapped his hands. "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Battle of Wits, Street Book Smart versus Real Book Smart." The crowd clapped. Someone even whistled, Ada's street friend shouting her name. "Contestants, you'll each be asked 5 questions. Correct answers earn a point. Wrong answers? You'll hear a loud buzzer of shame." He motioned to a big red button that looked like it had been stolen from a spaceship. Ada whispered, "That button is judging me already." The man grinned. "Just don't make it your best friend." The challenge began. First question for the man. "What's the capital of Burkina Faso?" He blinked. Bujumbura?" Buzzer. Ada gasped, eyes wide. "That's Burundi, my guy. This man just mixed up his boo countries." Crowd. "Oh!" The man making look like a failure. Moderator. "Correct answer. Ouagadougou." Ada stepped up, smirking. Her first question. "What's the square root of 144? Ada didn't even flinch. 12. "Correct!" the moderator exclaimed. The crowd clapped, cheering Ada on. "Let's go!" she whispered under her breath. And so the battle continued each question, a mini-drama. Ada answered riddles, math problems, and even one trick question about a farmer, a chicken, and a river. The man fought hard, scoring well with history and literature. Final question for Ada. If she got it right, she'd win. Moderator. "Ada, your final question. What is the plural of cactus?" She paused, looked up, thought hard. Mama Ola's voice echoed in her mind. "Always question the obvious. English is a trickster." Ada smiled. "Cacti," she said confidently. "Correct!" the moderator exclaimed, declaring Ada the winner. The hall exploded in cheers. Mama Ola danced on her seat. A boy threw popcorn in celebration. The man clapped with genuine admiration. "I surrender," he said, shaking her hand. "You've officially beaten me." Ada raised her arm like a champion boxer. "I'd like to thank the Refuse Dump Academy for this honor." The crowd laughed. As the event ended, the man walked Ada to the gate. "You were amazing." "Thank you. You weren't bad either. For someone who thinks Bujumbura is everywhere," Ada said, and they laughed. "You ever thought about going to school? Like a real one?" Ada shrugged. "Dreamed about it, but dreams don't pay school fees." The man smiled. "Maybe they don't, but sometimes strangers do." Ada blinked. "Are you?" He nodded. "Let's just say, I know some people who believe in second chances." "And you just made a strong case," she gasped. "Wait, you're offering?" "Let's talk tomorrow," he said. "Bring your mom. Let's see how we can help make this dream a bit more real." Ada just stood there, stunned. Later that evening, Ada burst into their little corner of the street. "Mama! The man offered sponsor me through school. I think school is about to stop being a dream." Mama Ola stood there, frozen, a hand over her mouth. Then she whispered, "I told you, Ada. Expired croissants today. Destiny tomorrow." The next morning, Ada woke up with a jump. "Mama! Today is the day!" she shouted. Yes, calm down before you end up going with only one shoe," Mama Ola said, shaking her head. They didn't even have real suitcases, just one Ghana Musco bag, filled with Ada's best clothes and a dictionary with no cover. But Ada didn't care. Her dream was knocking. At exactly 9 a.m., a shiny car stopped again in front of their street. The same one. Big, black and bold. and from it came down the manly this time. He wasn't just a man. He wore a clean native wear, shoes that looked like they had AC inside, and his driver opened the door like he was carrying gold. "Good morning, Ada," he said with a warm smile. "Good morning, Mama Ola." "Good morning, sir," Ada replied shyly. "But can I ask your name now?" He smiled. "Of course. I'm Prince Tayo, from the royal family of Elawan Kingdom." Mama Ola's eyes widened. "N? Prince? As in real prince, not Instagram prince?" Prince Tayo laughed. "Real prince, Ma. My father is the king." Ada blinked twice. "Ah, so that's why your voice sounds like it went to private school." They drove for almost an hour. Ada's eyes couldn't stop moving. The buildings were taller. The air smelled like money. When they got to the school, Ada nearly passed out. The school looked like a palace. Big, shiny, and full of students wearing clean clothes. Prince Tayo walked her in personally. "This will be your new school," he said. "Everything is paid for. Fees, accommodation, books, lunch, even extra meat on Wednesdays," he added, laughing. Ada looked around. "You mean this is my life now?" "Yes, Ada, but you must work hard." "I will, your princess," she said, and he chuckled. "Just call me Teo." School was not easy at first. Some girls laughed at her slippers. One boy asked if she was the school cleaner, but Ada ignored them. She was focused. Soon, she made 2 friends. First was Afea, small but loud girl from Delta. She talked like she had a radio in her throat. Second was Blessing Gashai, serious girl who loved books more than food. Together, they became a small gang. They called themselves the 3 brain cells. "You know why?" Efe said one day. "Because our brain is small but mighty." They laughed every day, helped each other with homework, and shared snacks like family. But something strange started happening. Boys had started following Ada almost everywhere. At first, she couldn't understand why, but soon she realized that even back when she was living on the streets, boys were drawn to her. Despite the ragged clothes she wore as a street girl, her figure still stood out clearly. They carried her books. They helped her open her locker even if it was already open. "Ah, haven't these boys seen a fine girl before?" Efe asked. "I guess our Ada's beauty is nothing anyone can easily come by," Blessing added. "Ah, so you are now realizing? Have you seen this kind beauty in your lifetime before?" F said with a grin. "But on a more serious note, Ada, fine, babe." Ada sighed. "Please, you guys are making my head swell." One day, Prince Tayo came to check on her. He saw 3 boys standing near her, laughing like goats on a date. He didn't say anything at first, but when Ada came to greet him, his face was tight like somebody poured lemon in his tea. "You seem popular," he said. Ada smiled. "I don't even talk to them, Tayo. They just like making noise." He looked away. "Wait," she said, laughing. "Are you jealous?" "Me? Jealous? Please, I'm royalty. I don't do jealousy." She raised one eyebrow. "Really?" Prince Tayo looked at her, sighed deeply, then mumbled, "Maybe small jealousy. Like groundnut-sized." Ada burst out laughing. "Don't worry, Prince Groundnut. I'm not here to look for boyfriend." "Good," he said quickly. "Because you're too smart for those boys." But that evening, something happened. As Ada walked home from school with Ife and Blessing, a black car different from the prince's stopped beside them. 2 men inside looked suspicious. "Hey, fine girl," one said. "You want a ride? We can take you somewhere nice." Ada frowned. "No thanks." But the man came out, grabbed her hand and said, "Don't say no so fast. You'll enjoy it." Ada froze. Before anyone could scream, another car pulled up behind them. Prince Tayo jumped out like action movie hero. He didn't say anything. He just walked up to the man, looked him straight in the eyes, and said calmly, Remove your hand, or remove your future. The man let go. Prince Tayo nodded. Good choice. The strange men quickly drove off. Ada stood there, shaken. Are you okay? Tayo asked. So, she whispered. Blessing was still holding her bag like a shield. Efe said, My chest! My whole chest! Tayo looked at Ada. From now on, I'll be sending someone to watch over you. Ada stared at him. Why? Because I brought you out of the dump. I won't let anyone drag you back. Ada didn't know what to say. She just nodded. But deep inside her heart, something had changed. Prince Tayo was no longer just a kind stranger. Now, he was her protector. And maybe, just maybe, something more. One sunny afternoon after school, Ada was in the library, reading a big book she didn't fully understand, but she liked how smart it made her look. Suddenly, she heard someone clear his throat beside her. She looked up. It was Prince Tayo. But this time, he wasn't smiling. Ada, can we talk? He asked. Ada blinked. Talk like talk, or you forgot your book again. Talk? Real talk. She closed her book slowly. Okay, I'm listening. He sat beside her and took a deep breath, like he was about to recite the whole national anthem. Ada, I like you. She froze. Like Nipa just took light in her brain. N? She whispered. I said I like you, not just because you're smart, or beautiful, or bold. I like everything about you, even your wahala. Ada laughed nervously. Me? Wahala? Yes, and I want to be more than just the prince who paid your school fees. I want to be someone special to you. Ada didn't know what to say. Her mouth opened, then closed, then opened again like a confused fish. Tayo, she said quietly, you're a prince. You have a palace. I had a mattress under the bridge. So? Tayo asked. So I'm just a street girl. You're a whole royal blood. Tayo reached out and held her hand and pleased it on his chest. And yet, my royal heart is confused any time you're not around. Ada pulled her hand away gently. I need time. He nodded. Take all the time you need. I'll wait. She smiled, but her mind was doing backflips. A prince? Like me? Me that used to eat expired meat pies? The next day, the real drama began. Ada was walking back to class when a girl in high heels, long nails, and an attitude louder than a generator blocked her path. You're Ada, right? She said, smiling like a snake in makeup. Yes. And you are? I'm Zara, Prince Tayo's fiancé. Ada's heart nearly flew out of her nose. Fiancé? Zara stepped closer. Well, ex-fiancé. But that's just technical talk. Ada squinted. So you're not together anymore? Zara's smile faded. Listen, I don't care what you think. I'm warning you, stay away from Tayo. Excuse me? Ada said, standing tall. You heard me. I know girls like you. You think because you're pretty and you read a few books, you can climb your way into the palace. Let me help you. Tayo belongs with royalty, not charity. Ada felt heat rise in her cheeks, but she stayed calm. Thanks for your advice, Auntie. But if Tayo is so royal, maybe you should ask him why he's chasing this charity case. Zara gasped. Ada walked away slowly, like a boss in slow motion, but her heart was doing Zumba. When she got back to class, Efe grabbed her. Girl, I heard Zara cornered you. That girl is more dramatic than a Nigerian movie with 5 parts, Blessing added. Be careful. She's not just jealous. She's dangerous. Ada sighed and looked at the window. Tayo didn't tell me about her. Why? Can I trust him? Or am I just a distraction from his real royal life? That night, she lay awake. The prince liked her. She liked him too, maybe. But what if Zara was right? What if she was just a beautiful street girl with no place in his world? Still, one thing was clear. This story was far from over. And Ada? She wasn't backing down. Ada's day started with a letter. A shiny envelope delivered to the school gate by a royal guard wearing sunglasses. Ada opened it slowly and read it out loud. Dear Miss Ada, His Royal Majesty and Queen of Elawong Kingdom humbly invite you to dinner at the Royal Palace this Friday at 7 p.m. Dress. Elegant. Ada nearly screamed. Effie screamed for her. You're going to the palace! Jesus, take my school sandals! Blessing's eyes popped. Wait, as in royal food? With actual meat and not the type you have to fight with fork? Yes, oh, Ada whispered. I think I'm going to faint stylishly. Friday came like thunder. Ada stood in front of the mirror in a gown Prince Tayo had sent. It was simple but clean. Her hair was packed nicely. She even wore small heels, though she walked like a baby goat learning how to stand. Mama Ola nearly cried when she saw her. Who born you, Ada? You look like Queen's cousin. A car came to pick her. The palace was mad beautiful. It had more gold than her entire street. Even the tiles had confidence. Guards opened the door like she was made of glass. Prince Tayo waited at the steps. Wow, he said, eyes wide. You look royal. Ada blushed. You too. You look like money and good decisions. He laughed, offering his arm. Shall we? She took it, entering the palace with shaking knees and fake boldness. Then, boom, Zara appeared, wearing a gown that screamed, Look at me, I'm still bitter. Oh look, the princess of the dump has arrived, she said, smiling too hard. Ada smiled back. And the queen of bad vibes too. Zara blinked. Sorry? Oh no, not sorry, not at all. Tayo cleared his throat. Zara, behave. Zara hissed so hard the air shivered. They all entered the royal dining hall. It was huge. The king and queen sat at the long table with royal robes and quiet majesty. Welcome, Ada, the queen said gently. We've heard much about you. Yes, the king added. Tayo speaks highly of your courage and intelligence. Ada bowed slightly. Thank you, your majesties, I'm honored to be here. She tried to act normal, but the cutlery alone was giving her headache. Forks for soup? Spoons for salad? What in the royal nonsense was this? Then Zara struck. Your majesties, she said sweetly, did you know Ada used to eat from the refuse dump? Ada froze. The room went silent. But the queen didn't blink. She looked at Ada and said calmly, Is that true, dear? Ada stood up slowly. Yes, your majesty, I did. My mother and I searched through the dump to find food and books. The king raised an eyebrow. Books? Yes, sir. We couldn't afford school, so Mama taught me with torn books people threw away. The queen gasped softly. Ada continued. Everything I know started from the trash. But I never felt ashamed. Because knowledge is knowledge, even when it's dusty. Silence again. Then, the queen smiled. The king chuckled. Tayo looked like he just won a bet. And Zara? Zara looked like she just bit a lemon dipped in pepper. The queen said warmly. Ada, that is the most beautiful thing I've heard in a long time. You are welcome in this palace. The king nodded. Royalty is not where you come from, it's what you carry. Ada sat back down, hiding her shaking hands. Inside, she was screaming. Zara tried to speak again, but the queen turned to her. Zara, dear, perhaps it's time you stopped looking down on others. It's not a good look, not even on you. Dinner went smoothly after that. Ada smiled, laughed carefully, and didn't spill water even once. She felt like she belonged. Later that night, Prince Tayo walked her out. I'm proud of you, he said. Proud? I almost fainted in front of your mother. But you didn't. You stood your ground. Ada looked up at him. Does this mean I passed the royal test? He grinned. You didn't just pass, You made history, Ada laughed. But that Zara lady, who is she to the royal family? Ada asked. Oh, forget about her, Prince Teo said, waving a hand dismissively. She's just one of those girls who think that because their father is one of the wealthiest elders in the palace, they can seduce me into liking them. Don't let her actions bother you, okay? But in the shadows behind a marble pillar, Zara watched with narrowed eyes. If Ada thought this was over, she was very, very wrong. After the dinner at the palace, she couldn't sleep. Ada's confidence, the Queen's praise, Prince Tayo's dreamy eyesore of it burned her like pepper in a fresh wound. Who does this Ada girl think she is? She snapped, pacing her golden bedroom. Let's see what your past has to say about you. She called her personal investigator, because of course she has one. Dig up everything on one Ada. Last name, unknown. Used to live on the street with a woman called Mama Ola. I want dirt, and I want it fast. Consider it done, the voice on the phone replied. Yes, Zara tried to dig into Ada's past, hoping to find some dirt she could use to disgrace her once and for all. But what she found shocked her to her bones and, later shocked Ada too. You see, Zara didn't know that her own uncle, Mr. Maxwell, a Gondolier millionaire businessman, was actually Ada's father. When he died many years ago, Zara's father, Chief Collins Ogundele, who was Maxwell's younger brother, chased his late brother's wife and newborn baby Ada out of the house like stray cats. He warned Mama Ola, "If I ever see you near your husband's house, company, or even his shadow, I will make sure you disappear and your child becomes an orphan overnight." Mama Ola was so terrified she didn't look back. She knew in her heart that Maxwell's death wasn't normal. That diabolical brother-in-law of hers had likely used juju to clear his brother out of the way and claim everything, his houses, his businesses, even his name. Out of fear, Mama Ola ran with her baby and never stopped. She didn't go to the police, didn't talk to family, and didn't even try to prove anything. She just disappeared. To make sure nobody from the family, or anyone kind-hearted would help her return, Chief Collins threw them in a faraway state somewhere. They'd be forgotten. And that's where Mama Ola raised Ada. On the streets, digging through trash for food and torn books. Now, fast forward to the present. Zara, with her evil curiosity, finally discovered the truth. Her heart nearly jumped out of her chest when she saw her father's name and Ada's father's name were connected as brothers. Her whole body went cold. Wait, Ada is my cousin? The report was clear. Ada was the real heir. The riches Zara enjoyed all her life? They belonged to the street girl she mocked. But instead of coming clean, Zara shut her mouth. She stopped insulting Ada in public, started smiling suspiciously, and began plotting. If I can move all the company papers into my name quietly, she whispered to herself one night, then even if Ada finds out, it'll be too late. She convinced herself Ada would never rise beyond the gutter. Ada belongs to the street, she said, looking in the mirror. And it is there she will remain. Then she laughed like a cheap villain in a soap opera. But unknown to Zara, someone else was watching the story unfold from the shadows. Prince Tayo, who still had secret guards following Ada to keep her safe, got word that some strange men had been spying on her. One of the guards traced the men and discovered everything why they were watching her, what they found, and what Zara planned to do next. The guard handed the full report to the prince. When Prince Tayo read the file, he sat back, shocked. So Ada, her father was a millionaire? His chest tightened. And she went through all that suffering, on the streets? All that time? Wasted no time. That evening, he visited Ada and Mama Ola. He didn't come in his prince outfit. He came like a friend with something serious on his mind. Ada, he said gently, Mama Ola, I found out something important. You both deserve to know the truth. He handed them the file. Ada flipped through the pages. Her hand trembled as she read her father's name. Her eyes grew wider and wider. Her mouth hung open. What is this? My father was rich? Tears ran down Mama Ola's face. She dropped the file and hugged her daughter tightly. It's true, Ada. It's all true. I tried to protect you from it, but I never thought the truth would find us again. Ada sat in silence, like her brain had left her body. So, I'm not just some street girl, she whispered. Prince Tayo knelt beside her. No, Ada. You're a queen who was thrown into the mud. But now, we will rise. I promise you. I will help you take back everything that belongs to you. Mama Ola sobbed harder. Not from sadness, but from relief. The buried past was finally out. The lies were breaking apart. And this time, she wasn't alone. The battle had just begun. But Ada? She was ready to fight. After Prince Tayo discovered the truth about Ada's past, he didn't just sit and fold his royal arms. He knew this wasn't a fight they could face with muscles and microphones, it had to be spiritual. He gathered Ada, Mama Ola, and Ada's two close friends, Efe and Blessing. My people, he said, we are not fighting flesh and blood. This Chief Collins is not just wicked, he's diabolical. We need to pray. Oh, this is not Nollywood, this is real life. So the five of them declared a 1-week dry fasting and prayer. They didn't joke with it, morning, afternoon, and night. They prayed, praised, and shouted, Amen, like their lives depended on it, which it actually did. Ada danced during praise like David in the Bible. Blessing was singing off-key but with fire. Efe was shouting, Holy Ghost, fire, every 2 seconds. And Mama Ola? She prayed until her wrapper shifted. By the last day of the fast, something in Mama Ola had changed. The same woman who once trembled at the mention of Chief Collins' name now stood boldly in front of a mirror and declared, God has not given me the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and sound mind. 2 Timothy 1-7, she quoted it like a warrior. I will not be afraid again, she said. They packed their things, dressed smartly, not too loud but they looked rich already, and set out to face the almighty Chief Collins Ogundel. Now, when they arrived at the compound, something strange happened. Chief Collins, the same man that used to walk around like Lion King, that the whole community is afraid of, trembled the moment he saw Ada, Mama Ola, and Prince Tayo standing boldly at his gate. His face changed colours like a chameleon caught in a disco light. He tried to shout, but nothing came out. His lips moved like a dying generator. In front of the village elders who had been called to witness the showdown, Chief Collins fell to his knees and began to confess like movie. I sacrificed my only brother at the shrine, he sobbed. He was too good, too rich, too everything. I couldn't bear to keep begging him, so I got rid of him and took it all. The elders gasped. Even Zara's mouth hung open like an empty wallet. Prince Tayo turned to Ada and whispered, Let me call the lawyer. The court case didn't last long at all. The evidence was loud, the confessions were clear. And the lawyer? Top class. The court ruled in Ada's favour. Every single property, house, estate, land, company, everything, was transferred to Ada's name. Zara, not giving up easily, stood up in court and said, Can't you people leave some for us? We've been managing everything since. The judge raised one eyebrow. So you people stole it, and now you want us to clap for you? The court didn't just hand over everything to Ada, it ordered Chief Collins and family to pay damages for years of suffering and theft. As for Ada, she didn't let the money change her heart. The first thing she did after moving into her giant mansion was charity. She invited all her friends from the street. Old beggars, hustlers, even the woman who once gave her small akara when she was hungry. She fed them like kings and queens. Jollof rice, fried rice, egusi, goat meat, everything on earth was on the table. Even water was served in glass bottles. But she didn't stop there. She built a free school for street kids. She opened a special orphanage for children without parents. She gave jobs to every adult who was out of school, And for the adults who still wanted to learn, she built a matured learning center for them too. The same street that once mocked her, it now had her face on every wall. Ada, the street queen who rose. People from all corners of the state were talking. Ah, Ada, from dust to destiny. See, what God cannot do does not exist. And guess what? Prince Tayo stayed by her side, silently, patiently, waiting for her heart to say yes. It had been 3 months since Ada became the rightful heir of the Ogundil Empire. She had transformed lives, built schools, orphanages, jobs, homes, and now the whole country knew her name. But something was still hanging in the air like the smell of fried plantain Prince Tayo's love. One evening, Ada was sitting in her mansion garden, wearing a flowing white gown that made her look like an angel that just dropped from heaven. The wind blew gently. Birds chirped softly. And then she heard footsteps. She turned, and there he was, Prince Tayo, looking fresh like he just stepped out of a royal soap commercial. He wore a charming smile that made hearts do backflips. He walked slowly to her, holding a small box. "Ada," he said, his voice low and deep like a love song. "Yes, Your Highness," she teased, even though her heart was doing gim 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 inside. "Stop that," he laughed. "You know I've told you to call me Tayo. You're Tayo." Ada looked down shyly. "I have waited," he continued. "Waited for you to find your strength, your light, your crown, and now you wear it like a queen born for the throne." He went down on one royal knee. Ada gasped. "Tayo." He opened the box. Inside was a beautiful ring shining like 1,000 suns. "Ada Ogundil, street queen turned palace lioness. Will you marry me? Not because of your past, not because of your money, but because I have loved you since the first day you begged for a book." Ada's eyes filled with tears. She didn't speak immediately. She just hugged him tightly and whispered, "Yes, 1,000,000 times, yes." The wedding was announced, and the king and queen, after meeting Ada the second time, were speechless. The queen held Ada's hand and said, "My daughter, you are not just beautiful, you are wise, brave, and kind, a true lioness of the throne." The king added, "You have faced fire and came out gold. Our son has chosen well." They hugged her tightly and declared her Princess Ada Ogundil, Tayo, the people's princess. As for Zara and her family, Wahala! Chief Collins and Zara had lost everything. They were now squatting in a face me I face you apartment, eating Gary with no sugar. Zara came to Ada's mansion gate, wearing the same expensive clothes, but this time torn and dusty. She knelt and cried, "Ada, please, just give us something small, even if it's cleaning job." Mama Ola saw her and whispered to Ada, "Let her in, let her clean the toilets. At least they'll be clean and she'll learn humility." Ada smiled. "I'll feed you," Ada said, "not because you deserve it, but because I have decided never to let bitterness live in my heart." Zara burst into fresh tears. "Thank you, Ada. Thank you." The royal wedding was the most watched event in the country. Ada wore a golden dress made with lace flown in from Paris. Her crown glowed like her smile. Prince Tayo never stopped looking at her like she was the answer to every prayer he ever prayed. And when the priest said, "You may now kiss the bride," Tayo didn't just kiss her. He held her close, whispered, "My queen," and kissed her like every fairy tale had just come true. They lived happily ever after, with love, with power, and with jollof rice on the side. The end. Moral lessons from the story. Your background does not define your destiny. Ada started as a street girl with nothing but torn books and hope. Yet, she rose to become royalty. Where you start doesn't matter. What matters is your courage and determination to rise. Education is power, even when it's from the trash. Ada and Mama Ola used old, dirty books to learn, and that knowledge changed everything. Education no matter how small, is a mighty weapon. Don't underestimate anyone. Zara laughed at Ada, called her a street girl, but that same girl owned everything Zara thought was hers. Always treat people with respect. You never know who they really are. Jealousy and greed destroy. Chief Collins killed his own brother out of jealousy and hunger for power. In the end, he lost everything, including his dignity. Greed and envy only bring destruction. Forgiveness is strength, not weakness. Ada forgave Zara and her family, even when they didn't deserve it. That showed real strength. Forgiveness frees you and humbles your enemies. Faith can move mountains. When they fasted and prayed, God gave Mama Ola boldness to confront the wicked. No matter the battle, when you involve God, you walk in victory. And the last moral lesson is, give back when you rise. Ada didn't forget the street. She built schools, orphanages, and gave jobs. When you climb up, don't pull the ladder away, help others rise too. Thank you for watching till the end of the story. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on notification so you will not miss out on our next upload. Stay blessed, lovelies. Bye.